So, you hit those harmonics. I can never get those clean. Is there like any?
Well, there's a couple secrets, not secrets, but important things on technique on harmonics. First of all is making sure your finger's right on top of the fret, right? Not behind the fret, right? Because the whole physics of the harmonics are you're splitting the string into a certain number of parts that have to be equal, right? And when you cut it in half at the 12th fret, it's splitting into 2 equal parts, which doubles the frequency, which gives you a note an octave higher than this, right? And so as the harmonics progress, if you double it again, that's what you get at the 5th fret. So each time it's a smaller one, they're harder to get clean. The 12th fret is the easiest ones to get. You know, you have a little bit more margin for error because the string's longer. By the time you get to the 5th, you got to find like the sweet spot on your finger and on the fret. You know, it's also really helpful to make sure that you let go of it right away, because if your finger stays there, you can hear it's dying now. And yeah, I'm probably moving a tiny bit, just because staying absolutely still, it's a lot easier if you're not there, you know. So, and you can hear that now, it's ringing better, and if I just left my finger there. So, one of my students is working on Harvest Moon. And Neil Young plays this. In the early days when he played this, he would just go to an E minor chord, come a little bit closer, and sing. But now but on the original recording there were harmonics right there, and then he was singing over it. So we found a video of him playing the harmonics and singing, and decided, oh, that's how Sandy should do this. And so for her, this was very difficult. She really hadn't done much in the way of harmonics, and to get all those notes clean, the logical thing seemed to her to be put your finger there and play these 3 notes. Well, that's not a very good idea. It sounded okay, but it sounds better if I hit each one and get off it and then go hit the next one. Now they're all ringing really well, especially if I'd hit the last one and then I start moving my hand to get down here. There's a good chance I'm not going to get off the string in time. So it does take a lot of practice, and the technique of getting harmonics clean is tricky, but that's a little finger is better for the high notes too, because it's smaller, you know, less contact point. But I would still always, if I'm coming back to, if I'm going back and forth between different frets, I think in Quicksand, there's a time when there's a C in the bass, and then 3 harmonics hit up there over that, and there's another one later, I think. No, I guess that's it. That's what it is. There's open notes afterwards. Okay, but that's one of those things I have to make sure that I look really carefully. You have to look to do harmonics. Other stuff, you can get away with a lot of stuff not looking at your left hand. But harmonics are not one of them. Oh, I lucked out. Okay, but there are all different kinds of ways of playing harmonics too. There's another song I play that opens up with artificial harmonics, which means I'm playing notes down here, but playing them as harmonics. Playing them using this hand, you can. You know, what I'm doing here is using this finger to stop the string, and then my 3rd finger to hit them. Well, so it takes a little bit of practice. That nail is thrashed, so that's bad. But doing that, you can play any note as a harmonic. So I have students, if they want to get into this, which is this getting to be kind of like limited returns on how often you're going to really need this. But you could practice playing like even a chromatic scale, because you have to match what fret you play down here. If I go to the 1st fret, now I go to the 13th fret here. I saw, there is a song I use those in. Oh. So they're, you know, trying to, this has to match what this is doing, and then got to try to keep bass notes going at the same time, you know. If you don't have enough plates spinning on your sticks.
12 frets.
Exactly, 12 frets. Spinning plates. Remember Ed Sullivan? Yeah, so that's the story on, or one of the stories on harmonics is you gotta, it's finger placement is really important and getting off them really fast. Any other technical questions? Okay, I want to play one more thing, and then what I'd like to do after that is probably, you know, everybody should grab their guitar and grab a seat, and I'd like to come spend like a few minutes with each one of you and see if there's anything I can help you with, if you guys are up to that. Okay? So this is mostly an arrangement by a phenomenal guitar player who passed away recently, Pete Huttlinger, who played as John Denver's main backup guy for many years in Denver's later career. Actually, I think he was still playing with him when he died. You know, but then went on to have, unfortunately, had a lot of serious health problems, and had a stroke and recovered from that and stuff. But he put together some unbelievably cool arrangements of songs that you just can't believe people try to play on the guitar. And there's a great video of him playing Superstition, Stevie Wonder song, where he starts with his bass line. Eventually works in the vocal part and the little all this stuff. So it's fascinating. If you're not too familiar with him, you should definitely check out his a couple of his videos, because he was great. And so this is 90% Pete's arrangement of a tune I'm sure you'll recognize, and I just modified a few things because they were too hard. Thumb and index, yeah. Almost doesn't matter what you hit. Just keep moving. Fine. Yeah. So, but yeah, does every, yeah, go ahead.
Before we break up because the guitar's out, there's a couple things. I think they won't run us off. It's almost 9 o'clock, but there, you know, time flies when you're having fun. There's a couple things that I wanted to ask the group. I hope everybody's enjoyed the night so far, and we're going to stay here as long as anybody wants to. We'll break up. Neil really does, because of the teacher in him, would like to spend a little time with each one of you, if that's what you would like. If you have a long way to drive and you have to go, we certainly understand that too.
I got a wife and dog sitting
Yeah, I understand. The one thing I'd like to do, and I'll actually start with you, Dana, and really just, as I set these meetings up and we continue forward every other Tuesday, I really want to know, and you can send me an email, you got your email addresses or my email address, but what are your expectations out of this Guitar League? I kind of laid out how they're going to flow from now on. You know, first hour with the presenter, and then we'll break up into classes. What kind of music do you like, and what are your expectations?
I like all kinds of music,
Okay.
so, you know, want to learn everything I can learn.
Okay.
Except he's not allowed to learn any Neil Young songs.
He probably knows them all.
Yeah, that's,
Well,
yeah.
I don't, but I'm like inundated with it right now, you know, it's 24 hours a day.
All right, Carl, how about you?
Oh, hey, this is what I came for, you know. I mean, I wanted to see.
I understand.
No, really, the presenters, I get to play an awful lot, so.
Yeah.
You know, but I like to see the
Yeah.
presenters.
Well, I think we actually talked on the phone too. There might be some things you can help with to get this
Well,
thing.
I don't know.
going.
Well, ours is kind of more of a jam session, we don't
Yeah.
have people coming.
Yeah. Well, and there's certainly nothing wrong with jam sessions. As a matter of fact, a big question about the breakout sessions. A lot of times people want to learn songs more than they want to learn theory or
Yeah.
that type. And I think it depends on the level that people are at. But I'm a firm believer in trying to get people to leave with a song to learn and practice, and maybe next time we have a meet, that same group be able to play that song and see where they improved or or maybe they start strumming and then we get them into finger picking or into bar chords and things like that, and we go to the progressions. But Dwayne?
The club we have turned into a sing and strum club. I want a guitar organization. I want to play, you know, I want to do those kinds of things.
Yeah.
That's guitar playing, not.
I think that's kind of the
Singing
idea of the
strong.
breakout sessions too, is that, you know, the one group might go play some campfire songs, and the next group might work on more technical stuff, or, you know.
John?
Oh, I like both kinds of music. Grateful Dead and the Jerry Garcia Band.
Yeah, you have Jerry Garcia.
You'll be old and in the way.
And them. And Rat Dog.
Mule Skinner.
And the Lesser Crimes.
Ryan, how about you? Any expectations?
Actually, I just was, I like to learn how to finger pick, you know.
Okay.
Because I don't use a pick right now, so.
Okay.
Then we have something here for you. We've got a handout ready for him, House of the Rising Sun, right?
Yeah, we'll get into that here in just a little bit. Yeah.
That's so fun.
Yeah. David?
That's where I'm at, is learning the basics.
Yeah. Okay. Chandra? It's,
Yeah, also at the basic stage and
Okay.
learn to try to pick up a few things from that.
but, so you guys that, let's say you've been playing a year or 2 years, but you're at the learning stage, still the presenter, that's gonna add a lot, right? I mean, I really wanna have a presenter every month. I just really think that's gonna drive a lot of what we do. But you guys feel like you can pick things up from the presenters too, I guess, right?
Yeah,
Good.
you just watch it.
Yeah,
Encouragement and inspiration.
yeah.
Just watch him, he goes, I'm gonna go home and burn my guitar.
I just leave mine here.
Bob, how about you?
Well, it is
Burning
pretty
on fire,
intimidating
yeah.
watching.
You're intimidated?
Well, a little bit. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't play that style of music. I play flat picker. I'm more into production. I'm into backing up vocal type of people. And most of the time, I would like to play like that. I love to play lead guitar. I play a lot of electric, but I end up playing bass most of the time because that's what they need. But the good thing about that is I can make up my own lead parts.
Yeah.
So it's really kind of like that, because with the music I'm playing, you're not playing the same bass notes that the piano's playing. You're making up your own. To me, it's almost like a lead instrument when you're playing electric bass. And
Yeah.
I play it.
No, it absolutely can be, and there's all kinds, McCartney did that all the time. Yeah, and Sting.
Yeah, I drew the short stick and I taught myself how to play bass.
Yeah.
But I love it now.
You're a valuable guy.
Yeah.
Russell, how about you?
I like the singer-songwriter stuff, and, I'm at the point where I'd like to do, I don't know if you, what you call it, beginning lead or whatever, just to fill in the gap, without having to be Jimi Hendrix.
Maybe in between the chord progression, playing some
Yeah.
leads with it,
Yeah, enough to just, to make it interesting.
fill it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm a beginner.
Okay.
So can you play and strum and change chords and stuff? Or is it getting there? Because I had a couple things, well, I'll let you finish, but I have a couple things I want to address, like to beginners and.
Yeah, go ahead. I actually was just gonna promote you now for a minute, but we'll get to that.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I mean.
No, really, I'll go on.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, a couple of really important things for beginners, and then that is, one of the first things you need to be able to do is change chords in time.